The only cartoon figure I got this year for the Haulathon, due to budgetary reasons, I had to stick with the Mirage series, was the Chakahachi and Lotus 2-pack. I have a feeling that this 2-pack might be a little hard to get, along with the Mona Lisa one. There was only one there when I went. And I really like the design of the two characters. And, you know, they're two very lesser known characters. I think they were only in maybe one episode. I'm not 100% sure. They were not in the series very much. They're not very well known characters. So I really wanted to get the set of unique characters to put on the shelf. So in this video, we're going to open them up. If you have these, or if you have any comments, let me know below. So we're going to check out the figures, learn about the characters a little bit, and open them up together. Like I said in the intro, I actually wanted to get this set because there's two really lesser known characters and there was only one there. So obviously, you know, other people wanted it too. So I got it. So here it is. So as we open up each character, we'll go through sort of their storyline and who they are and, you know, why they're figures. But we'll do that individually when we start getting them out of the package. So obviously, you know, here's the classic cartoon Ninja Turtle NECA packaging. On the front, the two-tone color, two artworks, and, you know, the nice open window so you can see everything cool. On one side, you got a full body picture of Lotus holding a flower. On the other side, you got Chakahachi, this is the spirit of Chakahachi, by the way. This is not like actual Chakahachi. We'll go over it. Top is the logo. Bottom is the normal NECA stuff with the credits. On the back, you got the normal action shots, some more shots of some of the figures. I'm going to do Usagi Yojimbo pretty soon. I have him. And this is one of the other sets that just came out for this Haulathon 2023. And I'm actually surprised the blurb, I don't have a lot of these figures. I'm surprised the blurb doesn't have anything about these figures on it. It's just a generic, it's like the turtles. It's the story of the turtles. I wonder why they do that instead of putting something about the characters on here. I don't know. But I guess that's my job. All right, so let's get everything out of the package and start to talk about the figures themselves and their storyline. All right, we're going to look at Chakahachi first. And again, this is the spirit of Chakahachi. So in the cartoon, Chakahachi was a real person. As far as I know, he was only in one episode ever. So this is a very deep figure. This 2-pack, even Lotus, she was only in 2 episodes as far as I know. I think I said 1 in the intro, but it's 2. So this is Chakahachi, his spirit. From what I understand, he was a sorcerer who lost his wife, and he was so distraught by the loss of his wife. You know, he came back as a spirit, and there's something to do with the urn he was buried in. Had like a magic pearl inside, and the urn broke, I guess, and he came out, and he came to modern day New York, and he actually started to turn it to like a weird like Tokyo. Like he started to change the city and rampage the city. He got really big in the episode, so he was rampaging along the city, and the turtles obviously had to stop him. And actually Leonardo and Lotus, the next figure in this set, actually, you know, formed a bond, a relationship. And they got the pearl back and brought him the pearl back and made him at peace. And he stopped destroying New York. And that was literally the only episode he's ever appeared in, as far as I can tell, from the internet, from the Googles. But this is the figure. I would say I definitely like the design. It looks pretty similar to the cartoon. Like if you look at some of the shots I'll put here, the likeness is very good. The costume matches. I didn't know what to think of this at first. He's only got one in the cartoon, I guess, on his, what is this, left shoulder. And I didn't know if this was just stuck in with a peg or something like that, but it looks to be, it's got like a hinge in there. I hope you could see that. So it's got a hinge, so it kind of just flips around, which is, it's kind of cool because it doesn't hinder movement at all. So the way they did this, it just can flop either direction, right? So it doesn't hinder movement at all, and it'll follow the arm around. So I think it's pretty cool. And it definitely matches the show. So going down the figure, you know what I mean? Let's start at the face. So he's got the cool colored eyes right there, the white eyes with the black outline. The paint job on that is really good. Obviously, you know, there's a cartoon figure, so it's got the NECA cell shading on it everywhere, the black outlines on a lot of things, which I absolutely love. NECA does it the best in the industry, and I have zero complaints about that. Zero. So his likeness on his face is very good. I like the shoulder pads, the folds in the cloth, you know, match the cartoon. It's got some of the, you know, cartoon shading right there all the way down to his wrist, and it looks very good. The middle part, this skirt part is you know, soft plastic, not to hinder the knees. Nice sculpted on bow right there, and these holes right here are for his weapons. So his knife will go in the top one, and the sword will go in the bottom one. At least that's what it looks like in the shots of the box. So that's what we'll do in a minute after we, you know, give overall impressions. The nice puffy, you know, cloth puffy pants go down to, I don't know, the shin guard, I guess you could say. I don't know what you want to call that. Shin guard, he's playing soccer, he's Pele. It's got, you know, the nice rope that goes around to the back. And one thing you'll notice about him and Lotus, actually, if you look at the shading too, obviously it's got a lighter shading on the front. If you actually look at the side, it's got a darker shading on the back. So if you look at his back, everything's just a little bit darker. It's that, you know, two-tone color. The only things that don't look right are the joints, right? And I know NECA paints its joints, so I'm not sure why they didn't, you know, shade these back joints this darker color, but it stands out a little bit, but it's not like a deal breaker or anything. You can check out the back of his legs right here. Again, it's got a darker color all on the back. The brown of the shoes is the same all the way around. But again, and the pants are the same. Actually, now that I look at it, the pants do have a little bit of a wash on it. They do have some, you know, darker parts in there, which looks really good. There's a shiny splotch right there of something. I don't know what it is. So let's check out the articulation, starting with the head, of course. So, you know, we got that much up, not a whole lot. That much down, not a whole lot. He can go side to side pretty well. Exorcism test, woo, all the way around. He does not have alternate head. Lotus has an alternate head. He does not. This is, you know, the only head he had in the show. It's a very handsome blue man. And so the shoulders have a good amount of movement, even with this hard plastic, you know, frayed edge right here. It does have, you know, darker colored shoulder blade here, and it goes up about that much. Obviously, you can go around this side like we talked about, that this thing actually goes around with the rest of the figure, which is a really cool design, rather than putting it on the shoulder or attaching it to the shoulder or whatever. And it actually has a rope right here. If you see, this is part of what it's attached to on his arm, but obviously it makes it look like this is actually attached to his arm rather than just sitting on it. All right, so going down to the arms, there are double elbows, of course. That's as far as it can go up right there. He comes with punching fists, so punching fists are typically forward and backwards. So forward and backwards, this does hinder it a little bit. This hard plastic cloth right here, you might need to get it a little bit loose or pull it out a little bit, but it does move forward and backwards, just a little bit. Going down to the torso, there's only a swivel right here at the waist. It's got a lot of resistance, so it won't go all the way around or anything, but it does go a decent amount to the side. And again, going down here to the soft plastic skirt, going down to his legs. It does hinder a little bit. He can't really get much up there. Out to the side a little bit. Yeah, there's not much movement there because of this. Obviously, it's pretty soft. I believe he does have double knees. You can only really see them from the back. The way they did this is really nice. So he's got double knees, but because of this big puffy cloth thing, it really can't go very far back. But again, with the cartoon figures, I don't think you want them like superposable, like a, you know, Marvel Legends superhero or anything like that. So that's about as far as he can go back. I'm surprised there was no swivel right here, but the knee joint can turn. So they thought of that a little bit too. So it doesn't just go forward and backwards. It can also turn here. So, you know, you can use that to get your whatever ideal pose you want. Ankle joint is the normal, you know, backwards, forwards, and it's a ball too. So you can go, you know, all the way around. So you can get a lot of different options with the foot for sure. So we're going to start with this sort of energy flames here, I guess. So this one, on the package, he holds this one in his hand, you know, like, ooh, like fire, fire, fire. But it looks pretty cool. The sculpt on it is good. The colors of it are very nice. It's semi, you know, translucent. It's got the darker pink that goes down to the lighter white. So you can just have this on the ground, you know, in your display or whatever, or you can hold it in his hand like it shows him on the package. This one right here is like a Kamehameha, like energy ball, I guess you could say. So, you know, maybe he puts his hand around it like that for a cool pose. I'll try to get a shot of it, but it looks, I don't know, it looks pretty cool. And this one right here, this one goes around his wrist. See if I can do this through my camera. Might be easier just to change out his hand first. Anyways, that's sort of the idea, you know what I mean? So he's sort of shooting it out, and you can use one of his other hands so it looks more, you know, natural. Speaking of hands, he does come with 2 completely, you know, open hands and then 2 grippy hands. So again, it comes with punching hands. He's got holding hands and then open hands. Then his weapons up next. These weapons are very nice. I love the details, and I love the, you know, how hard they are, hard plastic. So, you know, they're not going to bend, they're not going to break, and they both come with sheaths. He's got a, you know, a samurai sword and a knife. I'm trying to put this in through my camera. It's not working. Oh my gosh. Get in there. Okay, so it goes right in the sheath, and it does click in at the end. It does have like a little notch at the end. So, you know, it stays in there. It doesn't fall out or anything. But, you know, it's a sword. So the details on the handles are great. Again, it's got all that cell shading everywhere. It's, you know, nice hard plastic. The sculpt is good on those. And, you know, they even went the extra mile. It's got another sculpted piece on the hilt right there. And the same thing with the knife. It's the same style as those. The knife comes out. Again, nice hard plastic. Nice good details on it. It does have a flat black handle with just a knob end, so there's no sculpt here. But it looks good, and it only goes in this one way. So make sure you just put it in the right way and click it there so it doesn't, you know, fall out, even though it just did. Whatever. And these go in the loops right here. Maybe I should go the other way. Maybe I should go the other way. All right, there you go. He's got his swords on there. He's ready to fight. Samurai sorcerer from old Tokyo. All right, so that's Chakahachi. I like the design. That's why I got these figures. Obviously, you know, I have a limited budget, so I can't get a lot of the, you know, deep cuts in the Turtle cartoon series or anything like that. But I actually like these 2 character designs, so that's why I chose to get this two-piece set too. And I'm definitely impressed with the figure for sure. NECA's cartoon offerings are off the charts. All right, here's the other figure in the pack, Lotus. Her full name is Lotus Blossom, by the way. Yes, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's a nickname or something. I don't know. But anyways, she's a mercenary. She was hired by Krang to, you know, kill the turtles, to defeat the turtles. And she was in 2 episodes. In the first episode, she was, you know, she befriended Leonardo a little bit and, you know, turned her ways around, knew that the turtles weren't bad. But she did leave the episode still being a mercenary, just, you know, being a good one after that, I guess. I don't know. And then she actually came back for another episode, which was the Chakahachi episode. That's why these two are in a pack together, because the second episode she was in was the Chakahachi episode, because as he was, you know, taking over New York, turning it to a weird old Tokyo, you know what I mean? Like her and Leonardo, obviously, you know, BFFs. They found the pearl that he was looking for, and I guess she is the reincarnation or something of his wife, or she's got, you know, the energy of his wife, deceased wife, inside of her, and he recognized that too. So they gave him the pearl, and he saw that, you know, her spirit was in her. So that's how he calmed down and sort of got defeated. Went on to rest in peace. So she had obviously a big part in that. She was, you know, one of the main protagonists for that second episode she was in, for sure. And this is it. This is her figure. Her figure's a little plain, but this is what it was in the show. Like in the show, all she had was this gray thing, and all it had was a belt and, you know, this shoulder strap right here, and then that's it. Everything else, black boots, everything else was just kind of just plain. She does have an alternate head, a masked head in there too. So she does have this, you know, these cartoon locks. Obviously, this is not super detailed because it's in, you know, it's cartoon style, right? It matches the cartoon, and it matches it pretty well. Her animation in the cartoon was not all that great. So to me, her facial features look definitely different than the cartoon. But the art style in the cartoon, the art quality in the cartoon was not that good at this time. I'll put some pictures here. You judge for yourself. So I do think it looks good in real life. It just doesn't maybe 100% match the cartoon. So again, initial impressions, checking it out. Obviously it's got some, you know, cell shading on a lot of the folds in there. On her leg right there, down the middle. It's got a nice black color on this belt with another folded, you know, ribbon on it, just like Chakahachi. There's a cut right there in her chest area. If you can see, it's not just one flat piece of plastic. So a lot of the details definitely make sense and look good as you go down. You know, she's got kind of plain legs here. She's got that two-tone color, just like Chakahachi did. So, you know, a lighter gray on the front, like the light is shining on this. And then on the back, it's got, you know, the darker color. I don't know if this is indicative of a lot of the cartoon figures, because I honestly don't have a lot of the cartoon figures, if they do this for everything, but you can definitely see that, you know, the line as it goes down between the two shadings, it's definitely a lot darker on the back. Under her hair too, it's kind of hidden at first. She does have a sword sheath right here, because she does come with a sword, which we'll look at in a second. Her accessories are really cool. I think it's because the figure's so small, meaning comparatively speaking to like Chakahachi and, you know, some of the turtles. She's obviously one of the smaller characters on the show. All right, so let's check out her articulation. Obviously, she's got this big, you know, flock of hair here, so that might hinder stuff, but she's got a super long neck. And I actually had problems taking this head off to test out the other head first, but we'll see that in a second. So she can look up as much as you think she can, because obviously the sheath right here and her hair block it from going up very much, but you know, you can definitely tell she's looking up. She's got a super long neck. Down, obviously down's way bigger than up, way better than up. Rock in any direction. There's a ball joint in there, obviously, and there's a huge neck, so obviously she gets a lot of movement like that. She can maybe do exorcism. Yep, she can still do exorcism because her neck is so long. So all that's pretty good. Her arm goes up to about there, 90-degree angle. It'll go around. Elbows, she does have double elbows, so they go up pretty good. They go up about like that. And the hands that she comes with are sort of just, you know, karate chop hands, like just flat hands. All right, the articulation on these is forward and backwards on the chopping hands. Going down to the torso, she does move at the waist. There's a swivel at the waist right here. There's nothing else up top, obviously, to keep that, you know, cartoon like sleek aesthetic. It works. And down to her legs, she can go about that much forward. This is softer plastic. I like how they do that with the female figures, make that softer, so you know it looks good, but it also has some posability at least. So it can go out, down. She does have double knees, So she gets a much bigger range backwards than Chakahachi did because he had those fluffy pants. She's nice, slim, and slender, so it goes up like that. Again, there's no swivel right here, which you would think maybe there would be that's a natural cutoff point, so why not put one in? But, you know, it does not have one. All right, ankle goes back quite a lot. Forward, not so much. And there's no side to side, there's no ball in this one. Maybe it's because of the slimmer design, maybe there's stability issues with putting a ball joint in something like that. But, you know, that's her articulation scheme. That's all her details on her body. Let's take a look at her accessories next. All right, so I thought this was a vacuum cleaner at first, but it's not. It's a scent analyzer, which makes sense because this end is a nose. It's clearly a nose. And that'd be pretty weird for a vacuum cleaner, right? Right? Even for Ninja Turtles? So obviously, I like the details of this accessory, obviously. I think the cartoon Ninja Turtle accessories the detail on them is so good, and this is no exception, right? It's got sculpted on, you know, vents on the side right here. Even all these buttons on the top are all sculpted, right? They look like they're just painted if you look at them from a distance, but they're actually sculpted in there. You could feel it as it goes. And I love the color scheme. I love, you know, the cartoon shading on this. You know, it's got the gray bottom there. It matches the show pretty well. She's got a nice sword too. You could tell hers is different than Chakahachi's because hers is the one with the brown sheath on it. But the details on the handle are really good. The sculpt work and the cartoon shading on the handle, it looks so good right there, especially the little zigzag at the end. I really, really like that. And, you know, same thing as his. It's nice, you know, hard plastic, so hopefully it won't break. It does have a little peg right there to stop it from going down too much, I guess. Like that's the natural stopping point is where that peg will stop it, if that makes sense. But yeah. All right, looks good. Her hair goes right around it like that, and then the sword go right in there like that. She looks good. She's ready for action. Staying on the weapon side of things, like, I don't know. It's the little things that make us happy. The details on this bow and arrow are like some of the best I've ever seen. I mean, I don't know, maybe I don't have a lot of the series. Maybe there's other examples, better examples, but like the detail on the bow, the two color right there, like it's not all just the gray color, the gray straps, there's still brown going through there, the cartoon shading on there. And this is a real string. It's got a real string there. And if you go to the arrow, which I'm impressed with, is completely straight. It's nice hard plastic, completely straight. Obviously, I've gotten a lot of accessories from like, you know, McFarlane and stuff over the years. And little things like this typically come out of the package completely bent, like in a wrong direction. So I'm super impressed with the coloring on this, the white ends and everything. And even like the end, if you can see, I hope you can see, again, this is in 4K. So the end is even notched in the arrow, so you could actually put it on the string, if that makes sense. I'm definitely not going to be able to do it through my camera. But you can actually put it through the notch in the string right there. I haven't opened my frogs. I know some of the frogs have bow and arrows, so I don't know if theirs is that detailed. But this is amazing. Amazing. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. And then she also comes with a lotus flower right here. Maybe this is what they were using the scent sniffer to find. And this seems very flimsy to me because it's so thin. So I'll definitely be, you know, careful with it, I guess. And she has two specialty hands just to hold this flower. And it looks beautiful, obviously, the coloring on it and everything. And I'll have to rewatch the episode, but I'm sure this flower is a key thing in the episode. I'm pretty sure Leonardo had it at some point. As maybe a token of gratitude or something like that. Love. I don't know. And that leads us to the hands. So obviously she's got a couple, you know, grip hands to hold the sword, the vacuum, or not the vacuum cleaner, the scent. I don't know, the scent machine, the nose thing. But these two hands specifically are just for the flower. Because you'll see how tight that hole is there. These two are clearly just made for her to be holding the flower. And she's got her alternate head. I'm going to try to take her head off. I had a little bit of problems with it before. It was very difficult to get off. So let's see. All right, I got it. I had to make sure I didn't break it. But see, her neck is very long. She's got that super tight ball joint up top. So let's get our other head on. Right, I think I got it. It's pretty hard to get. I didn't hear a pop or anything, so maybe it's not in there fully. So I wish it went down a little bit more if it's not in there fully. But that's what she looks like with her alternate head. Here's the height comparison with a 90s movie turtle and the last Ronin armored figure. I know it's not a great comparison, but my cartoon turtles are not open yet. I only have the San Diego Com in disguise set, Turtles in Disguise set, and it's not open yet. So I don't have them to compare it to. So Chakahachi looks like, to the top of his ponytail is about 7.5. To the top of his head, it's about 6 3/4 inches tall. But you know, the ponytail matters, okay? 7.5 inches. And you know, Lotus is definitely much smaller. She's right about 6 inches, a little under 6 inches. So definitely she's one of the smaller figures in the line for sure. So overall, I like the figures a lot, but they are a deep dive for the cartoon series. So if you don't want them, they were only in a few episodes, don't get them. You know what I mean? I think they're cool. I think they match the cartoon counterparts really nicely. And I personally like the designs. I like the character designs of both of them. And that's why I got the set. So even though I'm not full in on the cartoon series, mainly due to budgetary reasons, I think these two figures will look great on the shelf as soon as I, start to open more of my cartoon series. But if you don't want to go too deep in the cartoon series, then you can probably pass. But I do love the NECA quality, and they come with some killer accessories too. So anyways, guys, gals, non-binary pals, thanks for watching another episode of Figurama by enemyzero. Keep tuning in for more, and let me know what you think about these figures down below.